Wanderers! Welcome to the Wandering Dutchman podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Branded by Woods.
You don't have to run a famous podcast to need the help and expertise of our friends at Branded by Woods. Whether you're in charge of a local group needing shirts or run a business and need a fresh logo, Branded by Woods can help. Brand recognition is paramount in today's society. At the Dutchman, we've worked with Branded on multiple projects, from our first logo design to merch lines. We always find it easy and stress-free to work with the team at Branded by Woods. From initial design to final approval, the process is great. Give our friends at Branded by Woods a call and do something creative today.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Wandering Dutchman podcast, coming to you from Smoker's Lounge. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Branded by Woods. If you're watching on the big screen, you notice there's somebody missing, Brother Dave.
Miss him, we do.
And if we could all take our hats off for a moment, take a brief moment of silence. Oh, I'm just kidding. He ain't dead. He's just out of town.
Out of state.
Out of country.
He's in the country.
Well, not in God's country anymore.
No, that's true.
So we are down, big fella. So it's going to be interesting how this runs today. Maybe your favorite episode. Maybe your least favorite. Be interesting to find out that feedback. But we're here, Brother Dave.
We're here.
Here to give the people an episode.
Yeah.
Welcome back to you.
Yeah.
You know, you went out of country.
Yep. Not Mexico. Punta Cana, the Dominican.
Did I say Mexico?
6 or 7 times.
Ugh. Probably part of that problem is I don't know where Punta Cana is.
Yeah.
Or pay attention enough of it.
I didn't either.
You know. So you really thought you were going to Mexico too?
No, I knew I wasn't going to
Did you get off the airplane and like, where's this isn't.
I mean, they speak Spanish.
I was going to say they still speak Spanish. They probably got a little French down there though, don't they?
Not that I met. Not on the resort.
Resort's probably pretty Englished,
Yeah.
I would say.
There was a German couple there.
Oh.
Yeah. They sat by
In
the
their
pool
lederhosen?
smoking cigarettes and.
Oh. Did they have fancy European cigarettes or like trashy Virginia Slims?
I felt like they were like Virginia Slims, but German. I don't know if those are like, Moscow Minis or what. But
Were they
wait,
nice
is
people?
Moscow? No, that's Russia.
Yeah, that's Russia.
My bad.
Berlin,
Yeah,
Munich,
Berlin babies.
little Berlin babies.
Yeah, Munich Minis.
So did you make friends with these people?
No, they spoke German.
Like not a lick of English?
They tried a little bit.
Oh. Did you do your English in a German accent?
9.
Good talk, Fred. So that was, you just laid out by the pool by him?
Kind of beside him a couple times. There was a little hut there.
Oh, you were in a hut.
Well, it's like an umbrella made out of a palm tree.
An umbrella made out of a palm tree.
I didn't take pictures because I took good mental images because I think I'm going to build some out of like some little cedar trees and corn stalks.
Hey, but we need to share it with the podcast listeners, the picture of the parrot on your shoulder. Because
Didn't know the parrot was there.
What do you mean you didn't know the parrot was there?
The picture, I was like,
Oh, like it just came out of nowhere?
yeah, Jenna had it on her hand, but I didn't know it was on her hand when she put her arm around me.
Oh, so she
then
set you up.
Yeah. I was punked in Espanol.
What was the parrot's name?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh,
Wouldn't remember if they told me.
Easy Street, huh, big guy?
Yeah.
What, did parrot speak Spanish or English?
I believe it was kind of a mix, Spanglish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You'd get along well here. Yeah, it is. So the trip was good?
It was fair.
No, it was a honeymoon.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have been
16
married for like 30 years.
16 and a half, yeah. Finally went out there. Did one. It was a good time.
Would you do it again?
Not this year.
Well, I mean, like,
Travel out of the country?
I guess not like get married again
Oh,
to do
God,
the
no.
honeymoon, but like, would you do the all-inclusive again?
Yeah, one of these days.
What
I think
would-
it'll happen again, but like that travel's awful.
What makes it so bad? Well, you did say that. You said you're not an international traveler.
There's just so many damn people and lines to go through, and then you got to prove that you're an American, and you got to give your paperwork, and then there's some sassy old Asian guy trying to get pissy about your place in line, but he can't talk to you about it, so he just waves his hand like you're some sort of peon. This is America.
Did he work for like TSA or was
No,
he just a
they
random Asian
told
guy?
me to go to this line, and he was there, and he kind of gave me this thing, like, get out, you're supposed to not be here. type.
He just like waved you off?
Yeah.
Did you tell him we fought back in the 40s for this?
Yeah, it was bad.
So you
I just didn't have any patience.
So you did well.
And it was a way back. I think it was just ready to be home.
Yeah.
We checked out of our room or whatever at like 10 in the morning. And I don't think we got back here to the hill until 2 a.m. on Sunday. So it was a long-ass day. And it was only like 4 hours of flying.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. There's just a whole lot of sitting around waiting, listening to people. Like, I don't care how people raise their kids because it's not my business, and I really just don't care. But my nerves were shot. And there was this, I'm sure, real nice hippie couple with their screaming-ass kids.
Did they smell like patchouli?
They were too far away, but the mom kept talking about their feelings and how they should all sit down and relax their bodies so their spirits can heal.
No,
I just wanted to
shut
smack
up.
the out all of them. Then there's this older white feller and his Asian wife, and they had like 6 kids there, and the one was a real shit bag, and he was yelling at his mom that he didn't ever want to see her again.
Oh, that's good conversation.
And he was in a little beach wagon, you know, the fold-up wagons. He was in there, so she pulled him out to the middle of the damn aisle, like right in the middle of the damn terminal, and just left him there. So he was screaming about that, and then everybody's walking around looking at this crazy screaming-ass kid in the wagon, and she was just over there eating her Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
And I was like, God dang, lady, shut that kid up.
man, it sounds like you had the pure airport experience.
Yeah, I just wasn't happy to be there. It was hot, a lot of people.
Well, you do know you were going to an island, right?
This was on the way back. I was coming to God's country,
Oh. So where was this at?
Atlanta.
Hot Atlanta for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, what were you doing outside? Shouldn't you have been in the airport?
I was in the airport. This all happened in the airport.
And the airport's that warm? No
It's
AC
probably just
down
my
there?
blood pressure.
Oh.
Yeah, I was.
You didn't have anything to help ease the nerves?
Nope, not on the Friday. It rained all day, so I didn't really have any drinks Friday. And then we got up Saturday early to go, and I was just dialed in to drive home. Like I was ready to actual drive.
Yeah.
Because I've been riding with all these crazy shit bags. I hadn't driven anything in like a week.
How'd that feel?
Awful.
Oof, I can believe it.
It wasn't good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just ain't got a. I don't know. Just
Is that why it took 16 years to take the honeymoon?
that wasn't why, but that's why it might take another 10. I don't know. It was tough. Jesus, it was awful.
So
The driver tried to tell jokes. He's like, "Oh, Dominican taxi," and he's like, and he was laughing so damn hard, and nobody laughed. And he's like, "I joke. He's a donkey." I was like, "Yeah, I know what a donkey is, man. Like, I saw it. It just wasn't funny."
It was.
He's a donkey.
Well, at least they have a sense of humor.
Yeah, they got a sense of something.
You know what gets me about the
direction.
Dominican Republic is on the other side of the island is the hole known as Haiti. Like, that's amazing.
Oh, I didn't know Haiti was in the Dominican Republic.
Well, like the Dominicans on the east side, Haiti's on the west side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, we were in the Atlantic Ocean side. They say it's the Caribbean, but that's on the west side, but we were in the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, so it wasn't like nice and blue?
No, it was super clear. But outside of our resort, this is like most of my topic.
Oh, well, we don't. Yeah. Well, we can move on to anything else.
I don't think we got a set schedule on this one. It's a weird one.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
But there's a reef there, and I thought the first time it was seaweed. I'm used to Florida and Alabama, and there's just shit in the water.
Yeah.
So I went out there to take a leak, and I went trotting through the water, and I thought I was going to step on some seaweed, and it was coral reef.
Oh.
Like, hat come out of nowhere. I was like, that's a rock. And then I got looking closer, and it was like a, budding ecosystem. I'm like, goddamn, I just killed Nemo. I felt real bad about it.
For how long?
I don't know. Until I
So
got done
you
pissing.
You really just trotted out there like we were up Patoka Lake to pee? Was that what everybody was doing? Like, did
I
you?
think so. There's some other, fat white guys that walk out just past the cuff of their britches and stand there and look at the sky for,
britches.
put
Put their hands on their hips.
60 to 90 seconds and turn around and walk back to their chair. Assume that's what they were doing. Probably why the coral reef's so clean.
Makes sense.
But the water's real clear there. The waves are kind of crazy, like out, but coming in, that reef breaks them up.
Yeah.
So then the first day there was this big rock out in the middle of the ocean. So I sent a picture to the boys and said, I wonder if Maui's hook is over there.
Who's
I don't know
hook?
Maui, I don't know if you've seen Moana.
Gonna say I haven't.
All right, well, it's like a reef thing. But then there's another whole pull back to Moana because nobody goes past the reef because the waves are too bad. So it all tied together.
Yep.
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 Having a good time.
That's kind of like the Dominican donkey joke.
Yep.
just
This
kinda...
is more of less of a joke, more of a realization.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, before we get into it anymore, our friends at Hopf Outdoor Power doing something cool this month.
May is Military Appreciation Month at Hopf Outdoor Power. They are honoring our local veterans by partnering with Boot Campaign and giving away a pair of Reebok Nano X1 or Garment T8 tactical boots to a local veteran. All you have to do is visit one of 3 Hopf Equipment or Hopf Outdoor Power locations, show proof of military service, complete a simple registration, and you're set. Drawing is May 30th. We love when local businesses give back, and at The Wandering Dutchman, we support the troops and veterans in our community. That's why we love Hopf Outdoor Power. Thank you, Hopf Outdoor Power. Veterans, do your thing. Sign up today.
All right, you want to continue on with your Caribbean? We could just do you first.
Sure. Didn't know what to expect going down there, other than the shitty drivers. Now, I did send a text message back to a couple of the guys up here. We drove by this cattle pasture.
Okay.
There was one on each side of the road, and this sea sucker must have been 2 miles long. And I got to looking, and there wasn't the first man-made fence post in this thing. They just chopped down some trees to make the pasture and left the trees where they wanted the fence, and they just tacked the barbed wire right up to these trees and chopped the trees off. Good-looking fence for not having no corner posts or nothing, just trees. They just like cut away the forest and then tacked up barbed wire. Really resourceful.
Really?
Yeah, it looked good. I got a picture, but my phone's taking the video. I'd show you.
So, I mean, how do you get in then if you got all these trees laid there?
Well, they cut the trees back, so there's an entrance off the road, and then they just put a gate there.
Oh, so what's the gate? Just magically standing by itself?
It's hung on the side of a tree.
Oh, so they don't cut 2 trees that happen to be spaced out perfectly?
So there's a fair amount that's perfect,
Yeah.
and then they cut branches off, and then they just packed branches up, and I don't even think they were stuck in the ground. They were just there, and everything was tight. And
So cows in the Dominican are really dumb.
skinny, too. Real lean. Didn't see a whole lot of fat people there that were native. Now, our butler guy,
You had a butler?
Oh, yeah.
And look at how he said that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now.
Oh, now.
Oh, now?
Well, it's like Ignacio, but he's told us his name was Onal, and that was on his name tag, so that's what saved my phone as. But
Wait. You have O'Now's phone number?
his WhatsApp, yeah.
His WhatsApp?
That's how we communicated every morning when he'd let us know what the activity
Oh,
was
Mr. Dave, are you awake?
He'd wait till like 9. He was
He knows.
about it, yeah.
He probably makes more money on the island than most.
But I'm going to tell you right now, he's built like us, and he is a black, like super dark guy. And that poor bastard had to wear, so like everybody that worked there dressed for their position, I guess uniforms you'd call it, but these concierges or butlers, depending on who you're talking to, they had like these wool like suit coats.
Why would they wear wool?
No idea, but this poor bastard, like, we were walking to the room the first day in, and Jenna goes, I don't think I've ever seen anybody sweat more than you. And I'm like, well, look at that poor bastard. You know, like he's dressed up in a daggone army blanket and 97 degrees out.
And that's what he has to, like, do they not have cotton jackets they could wear?
It looked wool. I mean, it was heavy. Like, well, I guess it kind of looked like felt. I assumed it was wool. But yeah, so slack pants, and then like he wore a t-shirt under the jacket, but then that heavy ass jacket. I'm like, good grief, man! Like
What kind of t-shirt?
like just a t-shirt.
Oh,
Some days it was blue, some days it was yellow. Sorry, SOB works 14 days in a row, 12-hour shifts ish, hour drive to and from work every day, then gets 3 days off, then back for 14 more.
so he stays at the resort.
No. That's what I asked him. He's like, oh, no. He's in his picture, his profile picture, whatever, on his phone when he texts you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's his daughter. Or he's probably not a very good guy like you seem to be. Hoping it's his daughter. But I'm assuming he's got a family
a really
life.
young wife on you.
So-
I just turned 15.
But yeah, he
Huh?
said he drives an hour to and from work every morning and evening. So I was like, you got 14 hours in every day? He's like, more than that sometimes. He's like, 12 hours is like the target. But yeah, 14-hour days in a row, then 3 days off, and then does it all over again.
My goodness.
Wild.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And he just seems so damn happy all the time. They all seem so damn happy all the time. Everybody that worked there was just happy, happy, happy. Even we had an unfortunate incident. Jen and I were getting ready for the beach one morning, and we thought we heard somebody's alarm going off, like time to get out of bed, because it was real faint sounding. Jesus Christ, who needs all that on vacation? Well, she's getting ready. I was already ready, so I was kind of waiting by the door anyway, and I hear somebody coughing. I'm like, what the hell? So I open the door, and smoke just starts pouring in the room.
Oh, shit.
And then when I opened the door, I realized it wasn't like a wake-up alarm. It was a goddamn smoke alarm.
Detectors.
And there's like 4 or 5 employees in the hall, and they all had their carts, because there's always somebody cleaning. There's never not somebody in a hallway at least sweeping. It's wild.
Yeah.
But they're all just standing there looking at each other like, what are we doing? I'm like, what the f*** is going on? So I told Jen, I was like, get your shit. We got to go. So we hauled ass down the stairs and got back because we're on the 3rd floor. So we got down to the ground level. Let old O'Neill know that, hey, man, we just had to evacuate our room. There's a fire up there because all the smoke. He said, who told you to leave? I was like, well, that's kind of the problem. Nobody. So let us know when.
Nobody. Who told you? I don't know now. Maybe the smoke was enough of an indicator.
But, yeah, so I don't know. He texted me about an hour and a half later, or maybe even 45 minutes, saying they found the cause of the smoke, which I'm assuming was a fire. I'd have helped him out with that.
Hey, pal, you ever heard that expression where there's smoke, there's fire?
Yes, that was a pretty crazy day.
So what day? So you were gone Saturday to Saturday?
Well, we left town Saturday, but we flew out at 4 a.m., 6 a.m. on Sunday morning from Louisville. We got home at midnight the following Sunday.
So where'd you fly from?
Louisville to Atlanta, Atlanta to Punta Cana, and then the same.
So how long did you sit in Atlanta to get to for the Punta Cana flight?
An hour, maybe.
So you get there early.
Yeah, and I was worried about it because we were there. You're not supposed to be able to check in until 3, and I think we got there they're on the same time as us.
Oh, that's nice.
And I think we got there at 12:30 or 11:30. So I was like, shit, we're going to have to sit in the damn lobby for 4 hours. But no, they grabbed our stuff, took us right to the room, checked us in, gave us some booze, and pointed us towards the beach.
So it was all inclusive, right? Mm-hmm. So how did that work out? Like, was there different packages of all inclusivity, or?
Yeah, because I think our upgraded one, I feel like it was like an extra $100 a person or whatever. And I think that got us 24-hour room service instead of a limited hour room service. I think that was the biggest difference. And there's it sounds risky, there's a private pool for people with that access level or whatever. I mean, it's a giant ass pool, but it was a little bit more calm than the other 3 pools. But all the pools shut at 6 o'clock at night, and they shut the beach down at 7.
It's probably so the cartel can do what they need to do.
It could be, but it's boring as shit. We was in bed by 9 most every night.
So
I was in bed at 7:45 one night. We'll get to that in a little bit. But.
So is there no clubs or?
No, so there's a bar in the lobby up front, and then outside of the lobby there's this stage thing. We watched a show there one night. They're juggling sticks that are on fire and shit.
Oh, cool.
Not really.
Okay.
But you go to dinner every night, and you can do that. But that's about it.
So it really sounds like you're not really selling me on the all-inclusive.
Now, there was a party pool, and there was something going on there every night, but that really wasn't our crowd. It was just, I don't know.
Because it was young people?
It was either 15 to 20 years younger than us or 15 years older than us.
Oh.
Just weird. I don't know. Just wasn't.
So if you would have taken your honeymoon when you supposed to, you
would have probably hung out at the party pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a guy I went to law school with. His father-in-law said, if you guys skip the big church wedding, I'll pay wherever you want to go for your honeymoon 2 weeks. They decided to go to Jamaica for 2 weeks. And he said the craziest thing of it is because we were there for 2 weeks, most of them it's a week-long package deal. So we made friends the first week, hung out with them all week. And then, we were the poor bastards still there on Sunday, and they were all leaving. But then he's like, you realize Sunday night, Monday morning, whole fresh new crop. He just said it was just because they got to watch the hotel turn over.
Sure.
That's the industry expression when you have that. So, when you turn the hotel over and you got fresh bodies in.
There was new people coming in every day. There was always about the same time every day, 20 new people coming in, getting checked in, and
Now, did you ever have any worries about, like, every once in a while there's a random death in, like, Punta Cana?
We had one. We went and we lucked out. We found these empty 2 seats under an umbrella by the main pool.
Yeah.
We didn't think we'd find one because it was right during the busy time of the day. So we go in, plop down. They come by, ask if we want drinks, so we get our drinks ordered.
Now, do you tip there?
Not everybody does, but we did. Like every time somebody brings you something, like
Because some places they don't want you to, right?
So
is that
it's
Mexico?
Not required. Well, no, I think that's all over. It's not required, but it's not like prohibited, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So most everybody was tipping, but we had like a club bar that we go to in the morning, and we'd normally tip that one like $5 or something in the morning, and then they just keep them coming to you all day. But if you just float it around, I just give whoever $1. But anyway, so we sit down, and as we're sitting there and we got our drinks coming, I realize that, again, going back to how you can tell what somebody's function is by how they're dressed. We'd been there like 3 or 4 days. Well, there's like some people in nice suits with name tags, not like wool, daggone, crummy ones.
We're talking
nice
management.
suits. And there's somebody's personal belongings on the ground. They're taking pictures of it all, and there's a couple lifeguards there. I'm like, what the hell? It's like somebody must have got too drunk and got the little pee-pee smacked and told to go back to bed. Well, then these people walk up crying, and the 2 women sitting in front of us stop the person and start talking, and we find out by listening to these 2 folks talk that some woman just died there, and they spent like 20 minutes trying to bring her back. And
Like, was she old?
no idea. She was gone before we got there. We missed her by however long it took to document her possessions. So there was a random one there. So we had that happen the same day as the fire in our room.
So at this point, when did you start worrying?
Well, I know everything comes in threes, but the day before I'd had an incident that could have potentially been hazardous had it been someone else. We went on an excursion off the resort.
Did you get raped by a dolphin?
No.
Okay.
Could have happened, though. We were on a party boat, and, things happen when you party on a boat, and I really think it was just a rough seas. I was on the bow of the boat, socializing,
Big social
maybe
buzz.
dancing a little bit.
Oh, doing a little shimmy.
And that song by Outkast called Rosa Parks come on, and I spun around quick in excitement to have known the song coming on the radio. And that was right at the same time that I think he turned and we hit a wave, and I hit the safety rail and right into the drink.
No! Did somebody scream "man overboard"?
They threw me the lifeline, and everybody but Jenna panicked. I
Jenna
grabbed
goes,
the rope.
"Let him drown! We got good insurance."
I grabbed the rope, and they acted like they were going to pull me up, and I was like, "I don't think so. Like, ain't enough of you." I was like, "Just drag me to the beach." They're like, no, get on the boat. And I was like, "Well, stop the motherfucker, and I'll shimmy up
You're
the
still
ladder."
doing mock Jesus, so they want you to climb up.
But yeah, it was probably like an 8-foot fall to the water.
How'd that feel?
I don't know. It was fine, I guess.
So
I got a bruise on my leg from where I'm assuming I hit the safety rail going over the edge on my bitch shin.
So Outkast almost killed you.
Yeah, Andre 3000 about did me in.
Did the guy that pushed you overboard, did he like kind of muscle up on you, like, or was he apologetic?
There was nobody else up there with me. And in hindsight, maybe they knew better.
Wait. You just said you were up there socializing.
Well, there was people seated in front of the thing, and I was, buddy. They didn't have any beer a guy could drink, so I was forced to drink vodka and rum on this trip.
Yeah.
And the feller made me a daggone stiff one on the way out of there because I was like, I need a drink before we go on this hell ride here. It was like an hour ride to get there from the resort.
So where did you ride to?
On the boat or in the bus?
There was a bus and a boat?
You had to take an hour-long bus ride.
Oh, jeez.
To get to the end of the island thing, to
Okay.
get on the boat, and then the boat takes you out a little ways, and then they throw bread in the water, and you snorkel, and I was feeding fishes the bread, and they were eating it out of my little fingers.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let you drink until they got to the damn sandbar. But they gave me one when I got back on the boat when they asked if I was going to snorkel anymore, and I told them no. Come to find out, that was not true because I went back in the water before we got to the sandbar. But then they take you and they say, hey, we're going to go see the dolphins. And it's like a pet the dolphins. Like it's kind of like a cattle corral in the water.
Yeah.
And they just got some sickly looking ass dolphins in there.
They don't look healthy, huh?
I mean, they looked fine, but they couldn't have been too happy. Like, they were just pinned in there in a little 10 by 10 pin so the weirdos can come touch them.
That's probably why they rape people.
Yeah, revenge.
Yeah.
So anyway, we drive past that, and once we started speeding up past that, and this could be my fault. So there's a bar on the boat, and then you just tip them when you get your drink, but that's bullshit because everything you got's packed away and under a seat. There's like 30 people, passengers.
So it's a pretty good sized boat.
Oh, yeah, big boat. Yeah, it's a double decker, so there's an upstairs sitting area.
So you could have gone off the top rail.
There was an opportunity. I was up there once. But instead of tipping every time, I talked to the folks next to me, like, hey, and I took my hat off. I was like, let's just pass the hat. We'll get all the tips together at once. We'll give it all an old cap up there, and then we don't got to with getting our shit out. I'm like, yeah. So I put we took a whole bunch of ones. Like, we'd have been set at the titty bar for 3 or 4 hours probably. But so we passed the hat around. Finally gets back to me. Some people didn't know what the hell was going on. They just looked at me like I was a weirdo. But I'm like, okay, well, be a stingy then. But so I take my hat full of cash up to the top, and I tell Cap, like, hey, here's a tip for the crew. We're just going to do this now so we don't got to tip you for all these drinks every time. And he was more than grateful. Like, I think we over-tipped.
Oh.
Like he said, we're done for the week. And I was like, hold on, buddy. I'll drive this boat if you're giving up on me. He said, no. Well, anyway, at that point in time, you didn't have to go to a bar to get a drink. They were just coming around filling everybody's cups.
So
up.
really, you kind of jump-started the party.
I think so. And that's probably what led to me feeling like I need to lead the charge for the good times on the front of the boat that led to my ultimate near demise, falling off the boat. But hey, no harm, no foul, right?
Everybody paid it, but shit. Damn it, Dave! That's why we don't go anywhere.
She said she looked over and went, "Fucking idiot," and then went back and said, because she didn't know who fell. She just heard the splash. I don't know if she thought there was a whale breaching over there or something, but she just went to see what all the commotion
She couldn't
was
tell
about.
by the bounce off the water who it was. Oh, well, I mean, I guess you're lucky falling overboard. I mean, were you in deep waters?
I mean, like, it was deeper. Like, I didn't touch when I fell. Like, I wasn't going to stand up in it or anything.
What about sharks? Are there any sharks over there?
I'd have got to test my theory of choking one out either, man.
Could you imagine that wild story? Here's this, the old captain and the boys, when they're sitting at the local pub spot, be like, yeah, there was this white gringo with tattoos. Kind of a heavyset guy, but he was athletic because his dance moves. Had bitch shins, though. Outcast comes on. Rosa Parks comes on, does a quick heel turn, loses his balance,
Falls off the safety rail into the water.
And then, luckily, we see sharks. We try to get him out of the water, but everybody was too popped because he got the party started. And then he's choking this shark out.
And
then
sweet.
Barbecue a shark on the beach.
I bet White Chocolate would have talked to me after. The guy at the resort.
White Chocolate.
That's what they call him. They never gave us his name. Now introduced him to us as White Chocolate. He's this old skinny white guy. I don't even know what his accent is. He's not from the Dominican. He moved there like he's a transplant.
Yeah.
Spain, something like that. He told me that I looked like a Viking like him, like Scandinavian.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of us looked like Vikings, but he was really convinced that we were both Scandinavian.
So what was White Chocolate's job on the property?
So on the property, he's employed by Sea Pros, which is a company that took us out, Sea Pro Divers.
Yeah.
But on the resort, he does like the snorkeling lessons and the scuba lessons in the pool, and then orchestrates all the water activities, on the resort and the beach there. But I was waiting for him to come because I was nervous. I was like, hey, do you know this guy that's driving? He's like, yeah, that's Raul. I'm like, I know it's Raul. It says on his shirt, but is that Raul? Like, is this dude going to get us? He's like, oh, don't you worry. It's like, well, I'm worried. And then, I wasn't worried when I got back. But
So did you do any other excursions?
nah, that was it.
That was probably enough, though, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Freaking man overboard.
Man overboard.
But did, you recover? Was it like a puke and rally?
I mean, yeah, it didn't take me long to get on the boat, and then somebody handed me my cup back. I dropped it, luckily, on the boat or something, because somebody handed it to me when I came up the ladder.
What a freaking boss move. You go overboard, survive a shark attack,
Well, no
Climb.
shoes.
Well, we're just telling
Oh,
the story.
got it.
Facts don't matter here. Climb up on the boat, and then you got your cocktail back in hand. Was Rosa Parks still playing?
They kind of killed the music there for a minute. Jenna said the crew looked awful concerned, like maybe they had never actually had to deploy the emergency maneuvers to get a body back on the boat. It wasn't supposed to be on.
Can you imagine the boys dock back? White Chocolate comes up. Hey, how's the trip? Well, your Scandinavian Viking buddy fell off the side. Well, what'd you guys do? I don't know. We all freaked out except for one lady. We think she was his wife. Okay, well, maybe we got to rehearse this a little bit, practice.
Yeah, we went out of there. Then they took us to the sandbar, and then you just walk out, and it's like, a little deeper than knee deep. That's where the parrot came from.
Wait, the parrot just hangs out at the sandbar? Or he was on the
parrot
boat?
has a keeper on the sandbar because lots of boats go to the sandbar.
Oh, okay.
And then I think there was a photographer on the boat. The photographer was always there, right? So the photographer.
So is
on
there
the
any
boat,
chances there's pictures of you falling overboard?
I checked their website.
Because that would be badass if you just see your bitch shins going over the
My
side
little
rails.
ankles.
Yeah.
God dang, there's a chicken falling off the boat.
And you see Raul just like, oh, no. Senor.
It was a good time, though.
That's good. It sounds like
Yeah.
it.
That was probably the most interesting day we had.
Was when you almost went overboard.
Did go overboard.
Did go overboard.
Yeah. Probably the best story from the trip.
Yeah. Food good?
It wasn't bad. Like, I never had any of it and was, like, disappointed, but, I wouldn't, like, rob a nun to have any of it again or anything.
Yeah.
But it was okay.
It was okay.
There's a little spot that made burgers, and it was what you would expect for a burger. Like, it wasn't, like, armadillo meat or anything. I think it was all those cows in
Skinny
the pasture.
ass cows.
We had Italian one night. The night that I fell off the boat, Jenna really wanted to go see this thing at the show, and I fell asleep at like 7:45. We had room service that night. I don't know that I was worthy to be in public again. So that night we just had.
Well, yeah, you were probably concussed from going overboard.
It didn't hit my head. I mean, it's
Well,
water.
damn it, just go with it.
Okay. But I had club sandwich that night, and then we had hibachi one night, and that was a shit show. That was Jenna's birthday. Just real loud. Everybody was amped up, and I was like, whoa.
Was it like a Benihana situation?
Never been to a Benihana. They were just very, like, loud and banging the things on the steel plate a lot, like probably more than they had to, and then everybody was drunk.
Kind of like in Wolf of Wall Street when they start doing that. Oh.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they kept doing like the da-da-da-da-da, but they would like yell it in like this ear-piercing high pitch, and everybody there would yell it too, and I was like, this place sucks. So we left shortly after we ate.
What'd you get?
Whatever they were cooking on the flat iron, I don't know,
Oh.
like rice.
Now, were these cooks, were they like Asian guys?
No.
Oh.
They were all
Classically
locals.
trained
Yeah.
locals.
Yeah.
You know, you speak of White Chocolate. You think that was like his retirement plan?
It'd be a sweet retirement plan. I imagine he's probably coked out of his gourd the whole time. He's
Really?
real, like he was high strung.
Like you're high strung sometimes.
And not like this guy.
Oh.
Not like this guy. He's a different high strung. I can't explain it. Imagine he's a single guy. Probably,
Picks up one of the tourists every once in a while.
yeah. A lot of hair for an old guy because he's like 70. But ton of hair.
Was it white?
Yeah.
So that's where the White Chocolate maybe comes in.
Could be. I just assumed
He
he
wasn't
was
like
a white guy.
He wasn't like a
predominantly.
dark, greasy Spaniard.
No.
How do you come to the conclusion he was a Spaniard?
Because Jenna said Spain.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe he's Scandinavian.
Did you have anything to back up that theory? Nope. Okay.
Just picked one out of the.
So definitely could be from Utah.
Yeah, well, weird accent for Utah.
Maybe he was Dutch.
Dutch could be.
Did you spread the podcast to anybody? We go
I
international?
don't think so. I met a bunch of people that Monday evening that I don't necessarily remember meeting,
That's good.
conversing with. So I
Yeah.
could have talked about the podcast, but I don't think I did.
Oh.
Probably should have. But
Well, when you got the party started on the boat, you should have probably
would've been a good
tuned in
time.
the episode.
now I took my Wandering Dutchman koozies, but I never needed a koozie. I always drink out of my tumbler.
So you brought your own tumbler?
Yeah, that's like one of the things you're supposed to do. Well, you're not supposed to, but if you take it, That's the other thing on it. So they'll fill you up, but if you take your own cup, since it's all inclusive, they'll just fill that up. Like you can fit like a shit pot of booze in one of those.
Yeah.
And then same thing on the party boat. They were giving us these little like 8-ounce clear plastic cups. I'm like, buddy, are you allowed to use my cup? He's like, sure. So I gave him my cup, and everybody else is drinking little 8-ounce rum and cokes, and I'm just sucking down the daggone 32-ouncer.
You just take it to the extreme. Well, it's good. I'm glad you're back. Glad you had a
Me
good
too.
trip.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Glad you got to use the old passport
Yeah, hell yeah.
for something other than work.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Hadn't even used it for work yet. Got it for work.
Oh, yeah.
Ended up not needing it. It's the first time I ever left the country.
Well, we're glad you're back in the U.S.
Me
of A.
too.
We missed you.
Yeah, I missed him. I miss the U.S. of A.
Yeah, it's a good place.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's a good place. All right. Hey, that was a good catch up on Punta Cana, but we're going to take a quick break.
Mayday, mayday! No, we aren't going down on a plane, but your old pellet smoker isn't cutting it anymore. Nick Merkley in Southern Indiana Hardwoods is ready to help you. Whether it's a new Green Mountain grill or pellets, Nick has you covered. Skip the box stores where they sell cheap products and even worse service. Nick services what he sells and will even make house calls in and around the DuBois County area. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Nick at Southern Indiana Hardwoods today.
All right, and we're back. Dave, we're going to change gears here a little bit.
Change them.
So in real time, the Catholic faith just elected a new pope.
Mm-hmm. Saw that.
Yeah, and that got me thinking, hey, American pope. Mm-hmm. First
Chicago.
American pope. Chicago, he's a Cubs fan. So maybe the Cubs are going to go on a run.
Now, hold on. I saw a post that said he was a White Sox fan.
No, he wouldn't. This guy is upstanding citizen. He wouldn't follow that trash.
Oh. Wonder what our local buddy thinks of that.
Well, when he gets there, I'm all in. Until that time, Cubs on the north side. But anyways, it got me wondering that you have these different positions of power, per se.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about it. Now, obviously, to be a pope, you have to be a cardinal, Catholic, non-married, like that kind of stuff.
You ever notice how they don't call that position a cub?
Freaking little baseball joke there, huh, big guy? But anyways, so it got me thinking, out of everything, like there's only been so many popes in the history of time. For an organization that's been around for 2,000 years, 2,000 plus years. There's not like, there's been a lot, but it's only one position.
Right.
So it got me thinking about if you could have one position of power, like royalty, presidency, senator, like where would you fall at on the spectrum there?
Why don't you lead and let me think about it? That's a heavy one. Like I can't. Just
Yeah.
shoot
So
from the hip.
I was thinking about it. The probably the one that came to mind was being president of the United States, and that's kind of my low-hanging fruit answer. But they do say you're the most powerful man in the world, and like that's true. Like America swings a pretty mighty club.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be that. Plus, then you get to know like a lot of the secrets. Because I just saw that Joe Rogan maybe had a guy on. It was a clip from Joe Rogan, but this guy was like a former CIA scientist guy, and they went into the alien talk a little bit more, which I don't want to say I'm coming around to it, but I trust in Joe there.
Yeah.
This guy seemed pretty sane. I mean, he was like almost 90 years old, but surely the memory's sharp.
Yeah.
But I think president would be pretty cool because you could do a lot of stuff. The unfortunate thing of it is, in this day and age, 49% of the country hates you.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's not say that. There's 25% automatically hate you. There's 26 to 35 that tolerate you, and then there's another percentage there that just is okay with you. So I guess it wouldn't be all bad. But like to be president, like somebody wins a championship, you invite them into the White House. Like that's pretty cool. You get to hang out with those guys. You get to travel to these different countries and just kind of do whatever you want, which is kind of cool. I know there's some custom stuff that you probably should do, but I think it's kind of cool just to walk in, kick your feet up on the table, and be like, America's here.
Yeah.
And I think those like late night, like listening to like a SEAL Team 6 like operation, like you're sipping a Diet Coke in your house slippers and the boys are taking it to some terrorists. Like that's pretty cool. That was probably my answer.
Okay.
But then I started thinking about the Pope thing. And I'm like, he's in charge of 1.3 billion, like, Catholics. Like, that yields a lot of power. And if you talk about the historical significance of the position, like, you know, when they used to have the Crusades and different things like that, like, the Pope was much more of a leader of, you know, almost a country in and of itself when you're fighting those
It is
Crusades.
a country in and of itself.
I guess it is in the Vatican.
Own.
Yeah, it's its own little spot there. But I don't know. That's I was thinking about that. But it just like if you could be in a position of power, what would it be and why?
I think those are both good points of view. I think that you had there. I think though I'd probably be somewhere like between Warren Buffett and like Elon Musk, like enough money to swing the big stick,
Yeah.
but not enough especially in today's world. Like the president thing to me would be way more appealing pre-social media.
Yeah.
Just because everybody's all in your shit. But when you got more money than anybody else, I think that you can have all the power you want and probably slip under the radar a little bit better. Elon doesn't because he chooses not to. But I feel like if he chose to be more private or reclusive, I imagine he could probably get away with a lot more shit. But he just throws it all out there doing what Elon does.
Yeah.
So I think somewhere in that Warren Buffett, Elon Musk neck of the woods.
So you kind of want to be like a king's maker.
Yeah, like I don't want the.
You want to be above the power of the official position that everybody comes to you before going to.
Yeah.
Like you want the Don calling you up and be like, "Hey, Dave, what do you think of this idea?"
I'd rather pull the strings than be the puppet at the end of it.
That's pretty good. I'm not surprised by that answer though.
Mm-hmm. That's with the few minutes I've had here to gather this. That's where I'd be at.
What would be the worst one?
I don't know. You get into. I feel like anything in local government. I feel like nobody, even the president. I bet he's not making all the calls you think he's making.
Probably not. No.
And I think that'd be a pretty hard row to hoe. You're just a martyr at that point in time.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they really care who's in there. They just want everybody in the country to think that they care who's in there.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it matters if it's blue or red in the White House. I imagine nearly the same decisions get made. They just show the other side of the road in the media.
Well, I would think that you're probably spot on. I think that would be about right.
And that'd be tough if you were a person of high moral fiber that couldn't do the things that needed done because somebody else. Then you find out like, oh shit, I really can't do any of that.
Yeah, I'd hate to be a king. What is the King Charles? That's his name, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like I'd hate that because you got to do like all the formal bullshit, but you have zero power for anything.
Yeah,
like you have all these customs and all this other stuff that you have to do.
Yeah, all the formalities.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, like you're just you're just.
Yeah, you're just.
You're a mascot.
Yeah.
For England. Like how cool 100%. Is that?
Yeah, that especially for England. Like, hey, remember that war you lost?
Yeah,
but that king thing worked a lot better before that.
Yeah. Well, and the historical significance of the royal family is a lot of inbreeding.
Yeah,
that's a tough spot.
Big foreheads.
I don't think that happens as much as it used to be.
Probably not.
That's good.
Unless that's why they're trying to get rid of Kate.
They're trying to get rid of Kate?
I don't know. I don't really keep tabs, but didn't they, when they're a big thing, like they thought she was dead or something?
Well, she had cancer, Dave.
Well, I thought they thought she like just died because they didn't see her on TV and they thought somebody offed her or something. Or
oh no, I think she was going through cancer treatment.
Oh God, grief!
That's kind of like the Avril Lavigne thing.
What happened to Avril Lavigne?
They think that she just like died and disappeared, and somebody took over her like persona.
Really?
Yeah, you've never seen that?
Mm-mm.
Am I crazy? Like you guys know that? Okay, never mind.
Okay, could have not happened. Who knows?
Very riveting crowd.
Yeah,
just Dave and I here in the lounge holding it down. It's been kind of quiet.
Yeah,
it's been unusual.
I like it.
It's been good.
Yeah,
I mean we missed the big fella.
Yeah, it'll be a good show when he's back.
I hope he doesn't get bit by a rattlesnake.
So far he hasn't, but he did call me yesterday to catch me up on all the Native American history, but I was kind of in a hurry. But he showed me they were getting run over by lizards at the place they were at. Lots of lizards.
Really?
Mm-hmm. 4 or 5 of them.
Interesting.
Now, since we got a little bit extra time, though, the in-laws live over in Jasper, close to Ireland.
Your in-laws?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there is a lizard loose in their neighborhood that's been caught on Ring cameras. and this sea sucker is about 4 foot long.
What the hell is it?
It's got to be an iguana, like somebody's pet or something. So there's a reward out now. I mean, it's kind of a private thing. Like, there's a bounty out on this lizard's head, though. They called the bug buster or something, and I guess he set a trap. My father-in-law said, he's like, this lizard, we got it on camera, and I've seen the picture. There's like a back deck, and it's probably 5 or 6 feet, from the wall of the house to the railing. And it's 4/5 of the length of that hole. It's just sprawled out there laying in the sun. Then you see it scurry off. And this guy sets a trap. My father-in-law said, he's like, that trap was about 6 inches wide and 12 inches deep. He's like, that son of a bitch's tail isn't going to fit in there. But, so there's just some, like, rogue reptile on the northeast side.
And nobody's claimed it?
West. No, because there's been Facebook posts like, hey, we'd love you to come get your lizard. But they've been looking under the deck, and I told them, I was like, I think them iguanas, you watch them crazy bastards in Florida, they'll jump on you while you're mowing. I said, I bet it's up there on the roof on them dark shingles, as cold as it's been. Probably just up there lounging on the asphalt shingles and then hiding in the gutter at night.
Now, do they change colors a little bit?
I don't think so. Maybe when they're cold, but people do that if they get real cold.
Well, so their big thing down in Florida, they hunt them, don't they?
Oh, yeah, blowguns. I don't have a blowgun, but I got a Heritage Rough Rider 22 and some of them Calibre no powder shells.
So we're going to go get it.
Yeah, I'm going to.
What's the reward up to?
$100.
That's a lot of things for $100.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. So because it's only two of us, only two topics tonight, so we're going to get into the Merkley and Sons Choice Cut questions of the week for the fellas, brought to you by Merkley and Sons.
It's May, and summer's on our heels. It means nice days, cookouts, and Memorial Day is right around the corner. This also means you don't have to suffer silently at these joyous occasions with subpar meats. Always and forever, Merkley and Sons should be your go-to for seasoned patties, hot dogs, franks, and their wide selection of brats and other grilling and smoking items. They're the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts for a reason.
Because, Dave, you had some recent airport travel.
Sure.
I figured I would give some of our worst airport situations that we can kind of jump into. So you got a middle seat between two people eating tuna sandwiches. Yes or no?
Middle seat.
Two people eating tuna sandwiches.
In an empty seat in the middle?
Yeah.
Like, is that okay or not okay?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be fine.
I don't think the tuna sandwich bothers me.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like if there was a microwave in the middle seat and they were trying to nuke that sumbitch, like then we got a problem. But
yeah, anybody that cooks seafood in a work lounge microwave deserves to be horsewhipped.
Yeah, I was gonna say capital punishment, but
yeah, well, we'll keep it like that. Baby screaming behind you or someone clipping toenails in front of you.
Definitely a baby screaming behind me.
The toenails don't bother you?
They do bother me. That's
what if one clips up?
That's what I'm saying. I would rather have a baby screaming behind
me
than somebody trimming their hooves in front of me.
Yeah.
Good God.
That's wild behavior for somebody to trim their toenails on a flight.
I might get booted off a plane for something like
What would aggravate you more, lost luggage or missed flight?
Missed flight. Saw a guy have a meltdown on our way to Punta Cana because he missed his flight.
Oh, really?
Full-blown, dropping F-bombs, throwing his luggage across the terminal, like, meltdown.
Bad meltdown, huh? Mm-hmm. Flight boards on time, then sits on the tarmac for 3 hours. Is that worse than what would be like a regular just delay?
Yes.
The tarmac thing would be terrible.
I hate being on the plane. It gets so hot.
Yeah. Turbulence so bad, the oxygen mask drop. What are you doing first?
Putting the oxygen mask on, I guess.
I'm probably shitting myself a little bit. If it's that bad for those suckers to drop out, because that's usually in the movies, not a good sign.
I'll buy that.
Gate changes 5 times in 30 minutes. You rage walk or are you a confused wanderer?
Oh, I'm walking on a mission.
You're not going to just wander?
Not if I got to get to a gate, and 5 times in 30 minutes is a lot.
A fellow passenger won't stop talking. You going to fake sleep or have the real conversation?
I'd probably talk to the person.
Me too. I don't know you could fake sleep.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Has anybody ever fake sleeped? Yeah, I don't think you fake sleep. That's all I got. That's some terrible airport situations.
Yeah, that was no good.
Flying just makes, like, you hear these horror stories, but it just makes me ick sometimes.
I've gotten a lot better with it. I used to be scared, but now I'm. It's kind of no big deal.
Like, scared of what? Like,
Flying.
what part of it?
It's the control of the situation thing. Not knowing if the pilot's like proficient, like just hoping that they are. There was this kid at college that was going to school to be a commercial airline pilot, and he would always get drunk and talk about killing himself all the time. And I'm like, great, that's going to be my pilot someday. And he's just going to like ram the thing into the side of a mountain.
Yeah, that's tough.
But yeah, so I it's fine. I think it's fine.
What bothers me being a broad-shouldered fellow is I feel like I'm sitting on somebody else's lap. And that's the part that, like, if you get, like, next to somebody that is very much like, don't touch me, like, there's this fight. Like, I have this nightmare of having to sit on, like, a 4-hour flight with my hands. Well, one could be, unless I'm middle seating, which try to avoid that. But, like, just being, like.
So I had, like, a 3.5-hour flight to California, and all 3 seats were full. I had the window seat, luckily, because I only fly window or aisle. But all 3 of us were, like, nobody was flying with a person. Like, we were all solo flyers or whatever. But the person next to me was, like, a maybe early 20s young woman, like, and I don't know why. I was like, we were going to California. I'm like, oh, great. Like,
yeah, hugging trees and something. Doesn't shave
so,
her
like,
leg.
I had my fat ass wadded up all the way against the window for 3.5 hours trying not to breathe because I didn't want to be like, hey, you sweaty bastard, don't touch me. And it's just like I was really wigging myself out. Like, it was awful. Like, I was achy by how, like,
tight you were
in the corner.
Yeah,
I was just trying to give space to. It was weird. I didn't like it.
See, when Janelle and I fly, she doesn't mind being in the middle seat.
I made Jenna fly in the middle.
Then
all 4 of her.
Then she lays on me, and then I start sweating. And I hate to sweat on an airplane because then you start smelling, and that's a big fear. Tight space, smelling.
Yeah, nobody wants to be smelly fat.
And I avoid the window seat because I'm a big, like, if I got to get up and piss, I don't want to have to give you a lap dance to get out there to go pee.
Now, see, everybody gets out, I think, on most planes I've been on, but I don't drink any fluids leading up to the flight. I'll have either a glass of water or a cup of coffee as long as I'm at least halfway through the flight if it's over like an hour or so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't use the airplane toilets.
I don't know how people join the Mile High Club on those kind of flights. Like, they can't. It's got to be a different
bathroom
airplane.
Before, like in an emergency. There's no way that my big ass could get all that coordinated in that small water closet.
I don't know. It has to be.
Somebody ended up with at least a crick in their neck, if not a broken bone.
And the door not even closed, and Dave's cheeks are just hanging out.
Foot would be blue, stuck in the toilet.
Hey,
I'd end up knocking the smoke alarm off. Then the FAA's got the freaking Homeland Security out there. Sir, you've tampered with a medical device.
What about people that lose their shit on flights? Why do you think that happens?
I got a little worried about it on our first long flight. It was me, Jenna, and then a solo flyer, this guy, and the couple behind us had a young child, probably less than a year, and it was crying. And the dude was like, nothing like a flight with a crying baby right behind you, huh? Like, he was talking to Jenna and I, but just being a dick.
Yeah.
And then the poor woman in the back, she obviously heard it, the one behind us, so she, and I get it, like, I remember, like, you grow as a parent the more kids you have, but it put her in an uncomfortable spot. So she was like yelling at this kid, like, hey, knock it off. Stop crying. And I'm like, God dang it, lady. Like,
that's not going to help the situation.
Don't mind this wad. Like, we can punch him. You ain't going to punch a baby. Like, just let the thing cry, you know?
We had one of the worst flights I had. I think we were going to Vegas. No, we were coming back from Vegas. So, like, not in good shape already. Like, we were on cruise control to get to the airport, get on the airplane, like, just trying not to puke. Like,
right.
And there was a group of ladies in hats. like big hats, like Kentucky Derby hats, because we were flying into Louisville. So I don't know what was going on, but they decided to just start pounding the booze. And I think we were about over Kansas. We might not even fly over Kansas coming from Vegas. I don't know. But the alcohol kicked in hard, and they were loud and obnoxious. And like the group we were with, we were all on the struggle bus, and I've never wanted to fight a lady more in my life. So anytime I see like a lady in a big hat, it's like a freaking warning sign. Just stay away. Stay away, because it's just they started, and I don't know if they were going back to Louisville or what it was, but they were, like even one point one of them's like, "Are we the only ones drinking on this plane?" And of course they were in the very back, and we were just like middle of the plane, so you could hear it. And everybody's like, "Lady, we've all been in Vegas. We're in bad shape.
Read the room.
Shut the fuck up. Just shut up." Hey, it's that time, though. We've reached the end, and it's time for some final thoughts, brought to you by The Rugged Foot.
We were happy to have Rugged Foot join the Dutchmen family last month and are even more excited they are here again in May. Rugged Foot does more than just safety toe, work boots, and rubber boots. They also have hiking boots and other casual footwear for lounging or for work. Don't forget, Rugged Foot also does leather repair. Mike helped Esquire patch a torn loophole on his favorite pair of golf shoes just last year. Stop up and see the Rugged Foot store on 4th Street in Huntingburg today.
All right, Brother Dave, what you got?
Hey, glad to be back home. A little bit of traveling that we got to do outside of the resort down there. I think we don't forget how fortunate you are to live in the best country in the world, because it was a pretty hoard up looking mess out there, kind of cruising through the locals' neck of the woods. So, might be having a shitty day. Could probably be worse.
There's a lot of people trying to get in, not a lot of people trying to get out. Big thank you to Branded by Woods, Hopf Outdoor Power, Southern Indiana Hardwoods, Merkley and Sons, and, of course, the Rugged Foot. We appreciate them. Go support them and those that support us. We appreciate it. Also, if you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and make sure you share it with your friends. Leave us a comment, rate, review, all that good stuff. That always helps us get noticed even more. But been a busy couple weeks. This is like that stretch of baseball, 3 or 4 nights a week, gone, home late. But there's light at the end of the tunnel as we get close. But, it's going to be every year it happens. Like you think you mentally prepare for it, and you don't. And then you guys being gone during the busiest time. Because a little inside baseball, Dave sets the episodes to upload. Never done, didn't even know how to get into Spotify to do it. Knew the YouTube side of it because I post on YouTube a lot. But that one night, it was like 3:30 in the morning when I finally went to bed because I was making sure everything uploaded. Didn't trust it wouldn't happen because the last thing I needed is a frantic text from somebody that's probably not here right now. Hey, they said the episode's not uploaded. And I'm in French Lick, it's not going to get up.
Texted you.
It's not going to get uploaded. So, but it all worked out. I know the best ofs. There's some people that enjoy them because they missed it or they've forgotten about it. But certainly love when we can get together and chat. Obviously missing one piece of the puzzle, but all in all, it's good to have you back, Brother Dave.
Appreciate that.
So, with that, Dutchman out.